Have you ever noticed that a simple glass of milk can make you feel like your body is at war with itself? For decades, the Western medical establishment has funneled almost every digestive complaint into a single convenient bucket: lactose intolerance. We've been told that our bodies simply lost the ability to process milk sugar. But as we sit here in 2026, the emerging science of precision nutrition is revealing a much more complex and more startling reality. For millions of people across North America and Europe, the culprit isn't the sugar at all. It's a hidden genetic mutation in the milk protein itself, a mutation that occurred thousands of years ago in European cattle, transforming a life-giving nutrient into a potential trigger for systemic inflammation. Today, we are going deeper than the surface. Using high-definition 3D medical visualization, we are going to travel inside the human gastric system to witness the molecular battle between A1 and A2 proteins. We will show you exactly how a single swap at the 67th amino acid position can release an opioid-like peptide into your bloodstream, clouding your brain and irritating your gut. This isn't just an educational video. It's a roadmap to reclaiming your biological energy. Welcome to the Optimal Health Guide. Let's decode the truth. To understand why milk affects you the way it does, we first have to understand what happens the moment it passes your esophagus and hits the highly acidic environment of your stomach. Milk isn't just a liquid. It's a complex biological suspension. Your stomach acid, or hydrochloric acid, acts as a chemical catalyst that immediately begins to deconstruct this liquid into two primary components: whey and casein. Think of whey as the express lane of nutrition. It remains liquid even in high acidity, passing through the gastric outlet almost immediately. This is why the Western fitness industry is obsessed with whey. Its amino acids, particularly leucine, are hitting your muscle tissues within 30 to 45 minutes of consumption. It is the gold standard for rapid recovery. But the other 80% of milk is casein, and this is where things get complicated. In the presence of stomach acid, casein undergoes a process called coagulation. It transforms from a liquid into a thick, rubbery curd. From an evolutionary perspective, this is a masterpiece of design. It's meant to stay in the stomach for hours, slowly breaking down to provide a time-released drip feed of nourishment. This is why casein is favored for preventing muscle breakdown during long periods of fasting, like sleep. However, for a modern Western audience with compromised gut health, high stress, or low stomach acid production, this curd doesn't break down gracefully. Instead of a slow release, it becomes a gastric brick. It sits heavy in the stomach, fermenting prematurely and creating that distinct sensation of heaviness and bloating that persists for hours. If you feel like your stomach has stopped moving after eating dairy, you aren't reacting to the sugar. You are struggling with a casein curd that your body simply cannot break apart. Once the stomach has finished its initial processing, the mixture moves into the small intestine, the primary site of nutrient absorption. Here, the landscape changes. We encounter the villi, billions of microscopic finger-like projections that increase the surface area of your gut to the size of a tennis court. On the very tips of these villi live the gatekeepers, the lactase enzymes. The biological job of lactase is simple but vital. It must find the disaccharide known as lactose, the milk sugar, and snap its molecular bond. This cleaves the lactose into two simple sugars, glucose and galactose. Only once they are separated are they small enough to pass through the intestinal wall and into your bloodstream to power your heart, brain, and muscles. But here is the global reality. Approximately 70% of the world's population stops producing these molecular scissors after infancy. This is known as lactase non-persistence. When these enzymes are missing, the lactose molecules remain whole. They become what scientists call osmotically active. They literally pull water out of your surrounding tissues and into your intestines through osmosis. This creates a high-pressure, watery environment that leads to the first stage of digestive distress. As this mixture reaches the colon, it meets your gut microbiome. Your bacteria begin a process of rapid fermentation, releasing hydrogen, carbon dioxide, and methane gases. This is the classic lactose intolerance explosion. But as we are about to see in the next chapter, even if you have a perfect supply of enzymes, the protein mutation can still cause your body to trigger an emergency inflammatory response. Now we reach the most controversial and trending topic in modern nutritional science: the A1 versus A2 distinction. Historically, all cattle produced what we call A2 milk. But thousands of years ago, a random genetic mutation occurred in European herds, specifically the Holstein and Friesian breeds that now dominate the Western dairy industry. This mutation replaced a single amino acid called proline with another called histidine at the 67th position of the protein chain. To the naked eye, this change is invisible, but to your digestive enzymes, it changes everything. Proline has a very strong chemical bond. It keeps the protein chain intact. Histidine, however, is a weak link. When your digestive enzymes attempt to break down A1 milk, they easily snap that weak link, releasing a powerful bioactive peptide called beta-casomorphin 7, or BCM-7. BCM-7 is an exogenous opioid. It has a high affinity for the mu-opioid receptors located throughout your gastrointestinal tract. When it binds to these receptors, it effectively paralyzes the smooth muscle contractions of your gut, leading to significant transit delays and constipation. But it doesn't stop there. BCM-7 is a potent pro-inflammatory agent. It triggers the release of inflammatory cytokines and causes a massive surge in mucus production within the gut. For many Westerners, the bloating they feel isn't gas from sugar. It is physical, structural swelling of the intestinal lining caused by the BCM-7 peptide. Even more concerning, research suggests that BCM-7 can cross the blood-brain barrier in individuals with increased gut permeability, or leaky gut. This is the molecular explanation for the brain fog and mental lethargy that many people associate with dairy consumption. You aren't just digesting milk. You are processing a peptide that mimics the effects of a narcotic on your nervous system. So, where does this leave you? At the Optimal Health Guide, we don't believe in the milk is good or milk is bad binary. We believe in bio-individuality. The Western dairy industry is built on a foundation of A1 cattle, but the tide is turning. If you find yourself struggling with standard dairy, the first step isn't necessarily to quit, it's to switch. A2 certified milk, as well as goat and sheep milk, naturally contains only the A2 protein. These proteins do not release BCM-7, meaning they pass through your system without triggering the opioid-driven inflammation we just discussed. We challenge you to a 14-day protocol. Swap your standard milk for an A2 certified source. Track your bloating, monitor your morning cognitive clarity, and watch your skin health. Your body is the most sophisticated laboratory in existence, and it is constantly sending you data. Your job is to listen. If you found this deep dive valuable, join our community. Hit the subscribe button to ensure you never miss our next investigation into the molecular truth of your daily diet. Clarity is the first step to longevity. Stay optimal.